So how plants use light to make their food. So that's the fifth grade science class of it. And we're going to jump right ahead to late high school, college. And they use a specific part of the light, the part that we can see, which is 400 to 700 nanometers, which is roughly just above ultraviolet and through almost to infrared. Most of the lighting spectra dominant in the LED market now is white. And if you look up at the light, you see some combination of different shades of warm and cool, brighter and darker LED diodes, and then also usually some discrete reds in there. And that's sort of, for better or for worse, been settled on as like as an industry standard, because we found that cannabis as a flowering crop really relies on many different parts of light, not just red, not just blue for building biomass, but when you get all of the other science term of secondary metabolites, meaning terpenes, cannabinoids, and all the flowering byproducts. We find it's best to just present the entire spectra to the plant.
And so as you can see in this graphic right here, the white singular line that kind of goes through the middle, that represents the standard HPS spectrum. And so you can see it's really high in that orange to red-ish ratio, kind of is a specific portion of the wavelength, whereas the colorful spectrum in the background represents a standard kind of broad spectrum LED light, right? And so whereas you may need a more reddish end of the spectrum to perform some portions of plant development, there's also a significant component of the plant's development, especially with cannabis, and we're studying more chemical components, not necessarily what we used to be used to in commercial agriculture, whether you're really only judged on your quantity of your fruit or flowering ratio, and how consistent that fruit or flower ratio looks. Whether it's an ugly cucumber or a pretty cucumber, they're not testing the chemical components of that cucumber. Well, now we are in cannabis, and we're noticing that these certain, portions of the spectrum that were not previously given to us through HPS are now responsible for heightening some of these chemical contents that are being presented in our cultivars today.